Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bianca if you're new, and today we are doing my July TBR. So for July, I have one readathon that I'm gonna be participating in, and that's gonna be Summerween with Gabby and Liv from Gabby Reads and Olivia Reads a Latte. I will have their channels and their announcement videos linked down below if you were interested. I did do a vlog for Summerween last year where I vlogged every day. I did end up having to go into work, so it's kind of shorter than I would have liked, but it was my first vlogging experience and I enjoyed it. So we will also be doing the TBR for that, but let's get into the books I want to read this month. So for the month of July, I decided I wanted to focus my attention on thrillers, mysteries, and horror books. So since Summerween is about reading those genres of books, that's what I wanted to dedicate my whole month to. So I have a lot of those types of books or books with those vibes in them. I've also chosen to include like paranormal books in it with that because horror, paranormal, very similar. So the first book I have on my TBR is The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. This is kind of like a paranormal horror thriller type vibe where I believe it follows two timelines, one in the past and one in the future, one in the present, where this girl's sister is murdered at an insane asylum or a boarding school that's reportedly haunted. And that timeline takes place in 1950 in Vermont. And then we have 2014, where a journalist is revisiting the boarding school where her sister was murdered 20 years ago. So if you can hear my cat, those are her claws as she's chasing her tail. She's cute. So I've heard good things about this. I've heard good things about Simone St. James in particular. So another book I wanted to pick up is her newest one, which is the Book of Cold Cases, which I do not have yet. I want to get it for my book of the month so it can match this version. And this one I don't know much about. I try to go into the thrillers and the mysteries and whatnot not knowing too much, but I believe this one is about a woman who was accused of a murder and then she's acquitted, and she invites a journalist into her home to talk about what happened. That's all I really know, but I haven't really heard much about that book, but I do know that the synopsis interested me and I wanted to pick it up. The next book that I want to pick up is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I feel really bad saying I've never read this book, but I've heard it's great. This is a beautiful copy, and I don't know anything about it. I know it's a thriller, and I know it's good, and I know there's a movie, so I think I'm gonna try and get to this and then pick up and then watch the movie, but I don't know anything about it. Takes place in Missouri on a 5th wedding anniversary. When the wife disappears, police investigate, and the husband's evasive. Usually in those situations, it's because he did something. So we'll see how that goes. Next, we're going to revisit a book I started last year during the Summerween readathon, and that is Mina and the Undead by Amy McCaw. This was so good, and it goes really fast. I remember reading it, and I got to like page 100 before I even knew it, and I just put it down, and I never picked it up. And the author is coming out with the sequel to this book this year, so I did want to pick this up before I did want to finish this before I bought that. And it's got really like great vibes. It takes place in New Orleans. It's about a girl who moves to New Orleans to live with her sister, and she discovers a body with 2 puncture wounds in the neck, and she's been drained of blood. So vampires. So I definitely want to pick that up. Next we have a more, I think this is YA. Mean and the Undead is also YA, and the Gone Girl and the Broken Girls and the Book of Cold Cases are adult. But this is why this is The New Girl by Jessie Q. Sutanto. Jessie Q. Sutanto is an author that I picked up earlier this year. Their first book that I read was Dial A for Aunties, and I loved it so much. And the sequel is definitely on my radar because it just came out a couple months ago, and I do want to pick that up. But I looked at their back list, and they had this one, and this follows a girl who is new at school, and she's, you know, not like the other girls. She's more into sports, and there is the body of a girl discovered in a classroom of a teacher that is determined for her to fail at her new school after she's gotten a track scholarship. So as she digs deeper into the secrets of her new school, she discovers that, you know, things are kind of hinky. So I like this. The tagline says she's a liar, a cheater, a murderer, and it's only her first semester. So I guess the basis is that this, you know, weird new school is starting to change her personality a bit, I guess. So hopefully this one's good. The next book I have on my general TBR, I haven't even gotten into my Summerween TBR, is The Girl in the Headlines by Hannah Jane. I read my first Hannah Jane last year, and that was Truly Madly Deadly, and I loved that. I read it in one day, so I knew I wanted to pick up another one, and this was one that I believe had just come out. Yeah, it came out to 2001, so last year. 2021, so last year. So this is about a girl who wakes up in a hotel room covered in blood, and when she turns on the news, she finds out that her parents have been murdered, or her father's been murdered, her mother's in the hospital, and her brother has been kidnapped, or he's missing, and she's the main suspect. So she gets together with the guy that was working the front desk, and they try and solve the mystery of what actually happened before she gets arrested. So she also doesn't remember anything that happened. So it seems like a really like fast-paced thriller, just like Truly Madly Deadly, and I cannot wait to pick it up. Okay, and the next one that I have, and this is, I believe, the last one for my general TBR unless I pick up something else. This is The Cheerleaders by Cara Thomas. I don't know much about this. I know it's about 5 cheerleaders that are murdered, and then the younger sister of one of the cheerleaders, I believe is the captain, becomes a cheerleader a couple years later, and I don't know, there's more. It says, beautiful, talented, popular, dead. There are no more cheerleaders in the town of Sunnybrook. If you can hear my fan, I'm sorry, but it's hot. And it says it's a little bit Riverdale, a little bit Veronica Mars. Ooh, The Cheerleaders is a twisty page turner that will have you doubting every character you meet and everything you think you know. So I believe this is also YA. Along with The Girl in the Headlines is also YA, but I've had this for a little while. I actually got it off eBay because I was interested in it, so we'll see how that goes. And now we move on to my Summerween TBR, and I did a spread in my bullet journal, so we will look here for the reading prompts. Okay, so Summerween runs from July 15th to the 21st, so it is a week-long readathon. And it comes with 5 prompts, 2 of which are prompts every time we have a seasonal ween readathon. So the first prompt is read a book in the dark, and I don't really have a specific book that I want to read in the dark, so I'm just gonna use it as a general prompt and just read whatever book I want to read in the dark. I have been trying to, here it is. I have been trying to reread and tab my copy of Truly Devious, so this might be the book that I pick up for reading in the dark, because I already know what's going to happen and it's not going to scare me too bad. So there's this. Or I can pick up any of the other books on my TBR. If you don't know, Truly Devious follows Stevie Bell, who is a new student at the Ellingham Academy, and she's really interested in true crime and solving crimes and becoming like an FBI agent or a detective or something. And she wants to solve the mystery of what happened to the founder, what's his name? Albert? Yep. She wants to solve the mystery of what happened to Albert Ellingham's wife and daughter. So it kind of follows two timelines because some of the chapters happen in the past, but this is a trilogy with a fourth book in the kind of universe that doesn't follow this main mystery of Ellingham's wife and daughter's disappearance. But really love this, definitely recommend it, and I'm really enjoying rereading it. It's so much fun. And then the next prompt is read a book with Halloween colors on the cover, and for that I chose Counselors by Jessica Goodman. I don't know too much about this, just that there's like this high society town and all the rich people go to this one camp, and the main character, it's her summer to go to the camp as a counselor, and she's all excited, but she has a really dark secret, and she can't tell her best friends about it, and she's struggling. And then somebody dies, and the last person to see that somebody was her best friend, and her best friend has secrets too. So friendship's gonna break, people die. It's got red on the cover, slasher, and there's blood. Red on the cover and blood, Halloween colors. So that's another one I wanted to pick up. This is young adult also. And then the next prompt is read a slasher, and for this one I chose My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I do not have a copy of this. I was gonna borrow it from my library. So this one, again, I don't know much. I know it's about a girl who is kind of an outsider, and she loves horror movies. Those are her escape. So everything she sees, she attributes to horror movies. Like, who would be killed off in a horror movie, how this would go down if this was a horror movie. And then she notices that, you know, things start happening. I believe people start dying, and she's like, oh, well, this is right out of this movie and whatnot. So she's gonna solve some murders, I guess. But whatever it is, it sounds really good, and I look forward to picking it up. And then we have read a book with haunt in the title. So for this one, I chose Haunted on Bourbon Street by Deanna Chase. This is kind of like a paranormal romance where a woman is living above, I believe, a stripper bar, and her apartment's haunted and she falls in love with the ghost. I wanted something that was a little like lighthearted, but also still had a haunt in the title, so it still applies. It's a little more lighthearted, gives me a little of a relief from all of the horror and slasher and thriller vibes. So that one just sounded interesting because this woman lives above a stripper bar and she's got a hot ghost that lives in her apartment. Fun. And then the last reading prompt is a normal one. It's one that's pretty much in every prompt for these readathons, and that is to bake or make a treat with your spooky read. I'm probably gonna make something easy. I don't really have anything in my head right now. My mother loves the homemade pigs in a blanket, and you can cut them to look like spiders, which is how I found the recipe. I just don't normally do that step because what's the point? Unless it's like for something specific. So I might make those. I might make a pumpkin latte because I really love my coffee when I'm reading books. But we'll see how that goes. So many books. I didn't even realize until I started reading them out just how many books I had on my TBR. But, and this isn't even all of them because 2 of them are ebooks. So here we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not gonna get through these all in 1 month, so we're not even gonna play. I'm just gonna try and definitely get to the ones that are my Summerween TBR, and maybe try for The Broken Girls and The Girl in the Headlines, because that one should go quickly, and maybe Mina and the Undead, because I have started it and I want to finish it. So we're gonna do our best, but I'm not gonna stress about it. So if you guys are participating in Summerween or any other readathons, or even just gonna picked out your books for next month, please let me know what you're reading. I always love to hear about what you guys are reading, so please let me know down in the comments below. I also want to take a minute to thank you all for all of the subscribers that I've gotten recently. I think I've hit 200 and something. So thanks so much. It's been great getting to know you guys. I would love to hear from you more. And I love you guys, and I love this. I'm so grateful for the support that you've given me. I started this channel so that I could step out of my comfort zone and meet new people, and it's been great. So thanks again for all of your subscriptions, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new. Welcome, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are, and don't forget to pick up a good book. Bye.